Alright, this video is for the ladies and gentlemen in Fat Shark. First things first, I'm aware of this being Weaves and Weaves not being a popular game mode, and I mean, you guys have other stuff to do, right? You have other projects you have to attend to first. Um, so yeah, this video is just to show it, to show the bugged enemies in this, excuse me, in this Weave. And maybe if you guys got time and resources, maybe someone can investigate and fix this issue. So this is Wave 143. The map itself is fine. You can just play through it. It's not easy, of course, but you can play through it more or less normally. But the end event, that's where the glitching starts. So this is Wave 4 now, the last wave. Like the waves for me is the Packmaster, right? The first Packmaster is Wave 1, and as soon as the second Packmaster spawns in, that's Wave 2, and then so on and so forth. And this is the fourth wave right now, with double banner, a bunch of Bestigors, and that's the wave that breaks this game entirely. The first three waves are totally fine. You can play them. No big issue. But as soon as the fourth wave comes, the one with the many Bestigors and the double flag, I think that's when the game gets kind of broken. So the problem I'm having, as you can see, I can just easily kill Bestigors off with a single headshot for my executioner sword, right? But the longer I go, or the longer I keep on killing the Bestigors, the bigger of the issue it becomes. Like, as you can see, this guy already took 2 headshots for some reason. Not all of them need the full amount of headshots, but this guy, for example, he needed 3 headshots. Him as well. So this glitch, it's somehow tied to the amount of Bestigors the map spawns in. So that's the reason why the first 3 waves work, in my opinion. That's my theory. Because the amount of Bestigors is just very low. And then on this wave, the 4th wave, there are a bunch of Bestigors. And it seems like there's some sort of number threshold or something. After which the Bestigors who spawn in just become super powered and just take way more hits than it should take. Like this, for example, like right now, this stab would usually kill a Chaos Warrior. I can show it off actually. Usually kills a Chaos Warrior if I can find one there. There's one. Yeah, like this just straight up kills a Chaos Warrior. And as you can see, like Chaos Warrior works just fine. I can just kill them easily. So it seems to be only Bestigors that glitch out for some reason. And as I said, the first few waves are totally fine. And after a certain amount of enemy Bestigors spawning in, the game just completely breaks and becomes like this, where Bestigors just have way more health than they should have. Like this isn't normal. That's totally not normal. The theory that we have is the following. That after a certain amount of Bestigors, or that's my theory at least, that after a certain amount of Bestigors, the game just fails to detect that they are in my range. Like, I had this little light circle, right, because it's Grey Weave, and whenever I come close to enemies, I can see them, and if they're in the Veil, they have, I think it's an 80% damage reduction or something, and if I now step into, if I now come closer to them, I should be able to deal my normal damage to them. And what I think happens is, after a certain amount of Bestigor spawns on this specific end event, this just glitches out, and they just keep their damage reduction for some reason, making it so much harder to kill them. And like this results in you having to deal with like 10 Bestigors who are just completely supercharged and take pretty much no damage from you. And that that itself is fine. It's not a big deal. But this in conjunction with time issues just becomes ridiculously absurd. Like, we managed to get here to this end event with 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And that's like for weave 143, excuse me. That's a really good time. Like 12 minutes 30 seconds. That's some really clean gameplay. Let's just say it like this. And that wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough for us to kill it. The Bestigors with an Ironbreaker, a Handmaiden, and a Battle Wizard, and then we had a Grey Knight, and on the second attempt we had a Zealot. And it wasn't enough. We beat it in the end with Grey Knight and Zealot, but we had to go full on damage, and even then it was really close with 12 minutes. So, yeah. I mean, this is modded realm. You might say, oh well, you spawn in enemies, they might misfunction or malfunction. I test multiple weaves, multiple difficulties, multiple modifier, multiple enemies, and they scale properly. Like enemies, if I spawn in an enemy in any weave, their HP, stagger resistance, and all the values they should have, they scale properly. Also the modifier, like they, if I kill an summoned or spawned Bestigor in a Jade Weave, he will give me essence, and he will also drop that plant. So they work just fine. That's just how the game behaves in this really specific end event. This is a run during which we managed to defeat or to finish this weave, and to show you guys, this is the official realm. I am using Smite. I can give you guys the builds in just a second, so you can replicate it. Just to show you how absurdly strong they are. Right now, I'm using Smite, 25% power increase from my passive with Zealot, 10% power increase from Enhanced Power, 30% power versus Bestigor's volley crossbow, guaranteed critical hit on my next attack, and he survives all 3 critical hits from my volley crossbow. He gets staggered, but he doesn't die from it. And if I now go into pretty much any weave, I can go to one. Let's go to the same weave, I guess. That's the build for Zealot, by the way. Power vs armor, smite, enhanced power. And then I was, like, in this video, I was using power versus chaos and power versus armored with Scrounger. And yeah, just to show you guys how much went wrong or what just glitches out. I can show you how it should look like with the exact same setup.
They can shatter essence you cannot claim.
Yeah. So once again, was one in the Bestigor. I'm going to get my smite ready. Now I have a smite, and that's about the range I had in the video, right? I do not have the power increase from my passive, but I can still one-shot kill him. So I have even less damage than in the clip, and yet I deal more damage. Or I can one-shot them. So they're just way stronger. I can also give you my granite build, so you guys can replicate it properly and test it. A second, once it loads. There we go. So I'm using attack speed, power versus chaos, virtue of the ideal, smiter or an enhanced power, both work equally. I tested both. I'm using virtue of audacity, and on my executioner I was running attack speed, usually crit chance as well, but I just run attack speed for the testing to make sure that I have as little crit chance as possible to make the results as consistent as possible. So yeah, that's the glitch. It's a bug. Yeah, it only seems to affect Bestigors for some reason. The other enemies are fine. Like flags, they die in one headshot or two body shots. That's fine. It just seems to be the Bestigors who glitch out for some reason. And only in this specific weave, we did weave 151 and 159, and it was somewhat fine in those, like hard weaves, yes, but the end events worked just fine. While talking about bugs, that's one more thing that I want to mention. It's not a bug that I posted. It's a disconnection / game crash bug. So whenever I join one of my friends, right, and we play together, and we tried wave 143 together, and one of us crashed or just disconnected or got kicked from the game for whatever reason, which just happens sometimes. It's fine, not a big deal. And then you try to reconnect to your friends, obviously, and depending on whether or not the host is alive in game, the game just crashes. So for example, if this fine gentleman up here, if he hosts and plays Handmaid, for example, or Battle Wizard, doesn't matter, and I disconnect or I crash, whatever, and he dies in game, right? And I reconnect while he's dead or respawning, I will load into his game, but his game will then crash, and he will just, disband the party, obviously, because he just crashed. However, if he is alive and I would join in then it's like a 50-50 chance. Sometimes the game crashes, sometimes it doesn't, and it's only in the gray weaves, so it's 7, 15, 23, 31, and 39, and then the upscaled versions of those. So those are the only weaves that this crash occurs on. For whatever reason, we don't really know why. Like, I mean, it's somehow tied to the modifier. Every other weave is fine. Jade weaves are fine. Fire weaves are fine. Lightning, metal, they're all fine. They work just as they should. It's just the gray shadow weaves are somehow bugged right now with this glitch. Another bug that I found, we were playing with Battle Wizards, lingering flames, flamestorm stuff. Just today, we're doing, I think we've won 135, and for some reason I couldn't apply lingering flames anymore, or at least I did not get the indicator of me doing damage procs against Chaos Warriors. Like, my crosshair wasn't showing hits anymore. Might be a visual bug, might be a game bug. I would have to further investigate it. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but yeah. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope someone can have a look at it. I mean, it's fine if you guys are busy with patching other stuff, updating other stuff, developing other stuff. But if someone has the time and you guys can spare some resources for this game mode, be really nice, really great. Really, I really appreciate your work, and yeah.